great keynote this morning and a great overall lineup today, so it's definitely great to have you all here. Relatively bright and early for Affiliate Summit, I guess. Hope everybody's in a great mood, ready to learn and ready to get inspired today. Got a bunch of great stuff going on, so stick with me. We'll do some quick announcements and get on to Wil Reynolds. Quick housekeeping. We've got, of course, the Wi-Fi, so if you want to get on and connect, you can do that. The SSID is Affiliate Summit. Password's Affiliate, all lowercase. You can follow on Twitter at the hashtag ASE13, at Affiliate Summit on Twitter, for news, updates, promos, just kind of see what everybody's talking about. And we've got Affiliate Summit West. Registration is open January 12th through the 14th, 2014 at the Paris Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. And got the early bird pricing going. So if you know you're going, go ahead and jump in, save yourself a few bucks. Got the app for Android or iPhone if you want to have some flexibility, not be looking at your show guide. Works great. I definitely recommend it. You can find it in the App Store. And if you want to take a look at a great aggregation site, check out rebelmouse.com/ASE13 for all the news and updates. Congratulations, everybody. You're part of a record crowd, 4,400 plus people here at Affiliate Summit East, the largest crowd to date. Wow. And this is one you don't want to miss. We got Will coming up in just a minute, but you definitely want to come and catch Sugar Ray a little bit later on today, about 3:30. It's going to be awesome and inspirational, so check it out. Don't leave early today. It's going to be a good one. Okay, on to our keynote for the morning. Wil Reynolds. If you know anything about search, if you follow search, you should have heard of Will. If you haven't, you need to check all your social media settings and make sure you're following him on Twitter. One of the best minds in search. He's been doing it for a long time. He's worked with some huge companies over the course of the last 13 years, including Disney, Debeers, Mercedes Benz, among others. Now he's got his agency, SEER Interactive, here in Philadelphia, works with his team to drive traffic and sales through search in an ethical way, which is kind of a cool thing for me, so I really enjoy it. Will's sessions at Affiliate Summit in the past have been some of the most highly rated sessions out there, both in his SEO panels, where they actually break down sites live, and with the keynote that he gave in 2011 in New York. It was one of the most practical keynotes I've ever seen. I know I was trying to keep up, taking notes, seeing what kind of tools he uses and what kind of tools he recommends. So you can find Will talking about search with pretty much anybody that wants to talk to him about search in coffee houses, hallways. Now you're going to hear him talk about it at Affiliate Summit East. Wil Reynolds.
All righty. Thank you, everyone, for getting up early. Yeah, it's 10, but it's like early for Affiliate Summit. So I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of where I see search going. I'm going to start my timer because I will talk about this stuff forever. I think there's some major threats, but there's also some opportunities for you guys. But I'm going to start off first. Big shout out to Amanda, who sent me a video. I don't remember when she sent me this. It's probably about a year ago. And I just watched it. And it's of a guy who's local to Philly. He's actually local to my neighborhood in Philly, who's built a motorcycle shop that restores vintage motorcycles. It's about a 4-minute video. I'm going to actually make you guys sit here and watch the entire 4-minute video because I think it's going to set the stage for what I believe is the way to win on search moving forward. So let's go ahead and cue that up. And I think you'll like what we're going to see. Awesome.
I think that despite everything that we're facing with the recession, foreign powers, our largest problem facing us is the deindustrialization of America. Our can-do American spirit is being lost. We don't have the I anymore. You got to be able to go out and do it, and we don't have that. Our children don't know the difference between a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips. And if they did know the difference, they wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. I've been working for, I'd say, 25 years now as a mechanic. And I was always fascinated with motorcycles. And that's where I stuck. Being able to make bikes that are 60, 70 years old perform as good as they ever did. Maybe not as good as new bikes, but as good as they ever did. Something to be said about that. It's very rewarding. The vintage bikes have much more style and panache, and it's more of an accomplishment. And it's the cool factor. It's the James Dean, the Marlon Brando, and the Wild One. You know, it's Fonzie, for Christ's sake. When I was a kid, if I was offered the opportunity to work in a shop like this, you would kill for it. You would eyeball a mini bike in the corner and tell them, well, I'll work if you give me that mini bike or something. But today's youth, not only do I not feel that they have the physical ability to do the industrial, whatever it may be, but they don't have the aptitude or even the desire. They don't even care. You know, it's disheartening. But I bet every generation said that. Our generation before us said that about us. But I really do think that it's going to be a lost art. There are going to be fewer and fewer people who can do this. And I don't really right now see who the next me is. Where's the next me? I think maybe we have 200 motorcycles here. I really don't know. I've never really counted them all. And I kind of never want to count them because at one point it might seem like too many to me, but then that same number might seem like way too few, and it may upset my balance. So I like to keep the exact number, an intangible amount. And I'd say 2/3 of the stuff that's here is mine. And 1/3 of that is my never gonna sell it, ever, unless my wife tells me to. But still then, it's hard fought, it's hard fought. I honestly, every day I walk in here, I still can't believe this is my place. Because I do remember at a young age thinking, man, you know, having some crappy Honda, I couldn't get started, didn't get the girl, didn't make it to the dance, broke down in the rain, thinking to myself, am I ever gonna have a whole bunch of cool bikes? And one day I woke up and I do. It's not because I have any money. I don't have any money. I do not have any money. But if I got some money, I'd buy a motorcycle. Another one. It's a compulsion. That's what it is. It's purely a compulsion. I couldn't and wouldn't do anything else. I have tried.
That's it. I wanted to show you guys that video because can you just like feel that guy? Like this guy's in Fishtown, he's in a neighborhood not too far from my own. Can you just feel the passion that guy has about freaking bikes? I don't, but he does. And you're probably thinking, well, what the heck does this have to do with the future of search? Like I thought I was gonna come and learn about drop your URL into this and you were just gonna rain money. That's not what we're here for. Another Philadelphia story for you. How many of you think this tattoo kind of sucks? Right, it's a tattoo of a man crying as he holds a slice of pizza that says totally saucesome. Okay? But what's interesting is that the pizza museum, leave it to Philly to have like a museum of just like some cheesy, greasy, fattening, doughy thing. We make a museum to that right here. And the museum actually has a Wikipedia page. And there's literally a pizza museum here. But you look at what I highlight, and you can see that this museum for a pizza shop has gotten this person on like NBC 10. He's mentioned in all these travel magazines. He's getting all of this recognition from all these websites that help his website to probably do pretty darn well on Google. He's even set a Guinness World Record, right? Because he loves pizza that much. I mean, to put a tattoo of a man crying holding a piece of pizza, probably pretty passionate about it. What also kind of sucks is when Google, who makes all their billions every quarter, $3 billion a quarter they make in profit, when they come out and say this is a picture of Amit Singhal, and he says the end of search as we know it. Well, it can't be, right? Not when you make, who's going to turn their back on $3 billion a quarter? not Google. So when we talk about it being the end of search as we know it, what do they mean, right? How can you prepare for where search is going? And what does this mean for you? Well, this means that I got to pour some out for a lot of you in this room, unfortunately. You tip your glass, you pour a little out for your homies who didn't make it. And there are going to be some of you who we're going to have to pour a little bit out for. Because some of you guys aren't going to make it, right? The truth is that when Google says search is ending as we know it, and your approach to search is what was working 4 or 5 years ago, we're going to have to tip a 40 to your memory, pour a little bit out, cry, and move on. And I think you guys have heard this before, right? Oh, affiliate marketing's dying. Not when you're setting records, it's obviously not dying, right? What I think is super cool is at first you look at this, it looks like a hearse, but you realize it's a bus. It's like smart marketing, right? Like, it's not affiliate, it's not SEO, it's not email, it's just smart marketing. I had to take a double take. And you guys are like, oh man, this presentation's starting off sucking. He spent the first 5 minutes showing me a video, and he's telling me that affiliate marketing's dying. But the question is are your sites better off today than they were 3 years ago? For many of you, they're not. I get the calls, I try to help people out on Twitter. I hear about people's sites not doing as well as they used to. But I got a little bit of a leg to stand on. You see, I've been doing SEO since about '99, and it was already 2 years dead by the time I started it. Who knew? I've built a company that I think we're growing. Last I checked, God bless you, things seem to be going pretty well. We're hiring people like mad, and shit, little did I know, my industry's been dead since 1997. Google didn't even exist, and it was already dead. $3 billion. Oh, they're dead. They don't know what they're talking about. So I can say in front of you that when I say affiliate marketing is dying, I know what it feels like, because people were telling me that my industry was dead before I even started in it, and people think I'm a pioneer. My ass, this guy knew it was all a waste. You guys also have a little bit of a reputation problem, right? This whole thing on VentureBeat, I thought Trisha did a great job of responding back to that post, that uneducated post. So you have a little bit of a reputation problem. I got a leg to stand on that too. See, I work in an industry that people think is bullshit and have for a long time, but we're still here, we're hiring, we're growing, we're making money, Is it a waste of money? Is it bullshit? Is it easy? Is it worth paying for? Yeah, right? I don't know what this is, gay, whatever. People make weird queries. If you work in SEO long enough, what you realize is that it's also a Korean name. So then if there's a famous person in Korea with the name. Anyway, all right. But the reason why I've got a leg to stand on this is because I'm just like you. I'm in an industry that people have said is dying since it really started. People think everything I do is bullshit. It's not. You can ask my coworkers. There are some of us here. It's not bullshit, I swear. So the question is, well, what do we do? And this is why I started off showing that video and talking about the guy with the slice of pizza on his back. It's just horrible. Who puts pepperoni on their back? But what if affiliate marketing was about monetizing your passion? See, I think the problem is so often people go, I want to make money. And you go, cool. And what do you want to make money with? It's like, I don't know. I just want to make money. And it's like, really? Like you wake up in the morning and just like, I want to make money. Well, what do you want to make money with? I don't know. Okay. I believe that there's an opportunity for you guys to monetize passion, which is very different than just trying to make a quick buck. What if your platform became monetizing other people's passions? People are sitting on things all day long that they don't see the value in, or they don't have the time to take, or the interest to take the full value of. What if you stopped looking for a deal at a network and you started working with individual people who were passionate about something they loved and showed them that they could make money at what they love if they combined their passion and your eye and your skills? You think that guy wants to sit on a computer all day trying to figure out how to run an affiliate program to monetize his passion? I'll show you. He actually kind of does. So at SEER, we did a crazy thing. When I would hire people, I didn't hire these SEO style people that knew all these tricks. I used to just hire smart marketers. Because what I knew is that Google, no matter what tricks worked today, their long-term goal was not to reward the site that had the better list of crappy backlinks. Oh, my list of crappy directories is fresher than your list of crappy directories, so I should rank higher. You don't think Google doesn't want to rank that guy for the word vintage motorcycle or that video? You're nuts. That video just sweats passion. And what you guys should realize, you probably have realized, that Google gives us a lot, and they take away a lot too. And I've got examples of that throughout this presentation. But something that Google's never gotten away from is they've always tried to replicate what a human sees with a computer. This is why they have human raters. The humans look at the site and they go, this is crap. The computer runs against it and goes, we think it's fine. And Google works every day to make that gap shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. You think you're smart? They got 1,500 PhDs who obsess over this the way that guy obsesses over a freaking monkey wrench. You think you're going to beat them? You want to set up your kids' college fund? Or for me, my dog's treat fund? Do you want to plan your next vacation on tricking 1,500 PhDs with $3 billion a quarter behind them that they could invest in R&D? It's not going to last too long. So what's interesting, a change that Google's making is back in the day, the way that Google would work is, they might see, Philly steak and cheese as a different word than Philly cheesesteak, and you'd go, oh, there's an opportunity for me there to get a bunch of links that say this word, and then I'm going to take advantage of that for a little while, and I'm going to make some money, right? Because that's what it's about. It's not about helping people find a good cheesesteak. It's about making money. And I've actually been in foreign countries, and they refer to it as a Philly, which if you're in Philly, people would think you're asking for a blunt. But anyway. Don't endorse, just saying. It's not legal here. But this concept is called an entity. So what you'll see is, and I'll often talk about what things are called, because if you Google the wrong thing, you will get the wrong information. So that concept is called an entity. So Google's trying to understand that all these are the same thing, okay? I lived in San Diego for 3 months recently. I just came back, and we opened an office in San Diego. My timer stopped for some crazy reason. Keep going. And I went to this place, and they said, we've got Philly cheesesteaks. And I went, sweet. So go in, he goes, we got the Amoroso's rolls. I go, all right, that's a good start. He goes, we got the cheese whiz. I go, all right, good start. So I go to order the damn cheesesteak, and I go, I'd like a whiz with. Which, if anybody here has ordered a cheesesteak in Philly, it means you don't, okay, secret. If you haven't gotten your cheesesteak yet, saying, I would like a cheesesteak will get you thrown out of line. You just say whiz with, which means a whiz, cheese whiz, and onions, right? If you say without, no onions. Simple. So I go up to the counter and I go, may I have a whiz with? And the guy says, with what? And I went, oh, shit. I thought this was your passion. I thought this was your passion. And when I order it, like a real Philadelphian would order it, you're like asking me if I want like avocado and mayonnaise. And I'm like, oh, damn it. Shit. Avocado? The sandwich is like 1,200 calories. Why would I want like avocado and sprouts? So think about it. This happens over and over again. Popular University, University of Penn. There's 1,000 different ways that people reference it. The problem is up until recently, Google wasn't able to tell that that's all the same thing. So what did it do? It created opportunities. Remember when we used to optimize for misspellings? Yay, Google's stupid. Oh, shit, I'm not making any money because they figured it out, right? So these are all the same thing. That's why we got to pour a little bit out. Because if that's how you were making money, if that's how you're making money, you got to watch Google's acquisitions like a hawk. Because you know what they're going to do. They acquired a company on this date. The company was called MetaWeb. Google saw these guys and girls at MetaWeb and went, oh, they figured it out. They have figured out how to make all those references one thing. So we can constantly surface the best content. Not always, but they're getting better at it every day because of that acquisition. That's been 3 years in the making. That's why it's showing up now. So Google wants to get you answers quickly, period. That's their objective. Well, to make money and all that crap that people say, but what can we do with that? Google wants to make money. Okay, so what are you going to do about your business? Nothing, right? So when you think about Google giving answers quickly, you should be thinking about that yourself. Am I in the way of people getting answers quickly? And if you are, if you've got a site that is in the way of getting people answers quickly, Google's trying to get rid of you. I'm going to show you this over and over and over again. So Google's looking to match queries to concepts and intentions. They don't need the word to match the word anymore. They can understand relationships between words and concepts. You don't believe me? Look at it. You type in whiz wit in Google, they're going, oh, that means you're probably trying to order a cheesesteak. Yeah, right. I probably am. Back in the day, it was like, well, if you don't use the words whiz wit in all your links, you're not going to rank for whiz wit. Now Google's going, I get it. That's also ordering a cheesesteak. So if you're talking about ordering a cheesesteak and whiz wit, I might actually rank the page that's talking about ordering a cheesesteak that's better than always having to match the words whiz wit. Pat's or Geno's? Jim's? Fucking Google. But seriously, like, they're giving me location. How are they figuring this out? MetaWeb. MetaWeb's got a great video on YouTube. If you watch it, it basically gives you this whole concept in a very digestible way. Remember, I typed in whiz wit. Google's like, oh, are you looking to order a cheesesteak? Are you looking for Pat's or Geno's? Are you looking for cheesesteaks? We now realize that all these things are pretty related. Changes the game. Conversational search often will give you one answer. Is it going to rain tomorrow? You can say that into your phone, and Google will say yes or no and tell you what time it's going to rain. Now I don't need to click on your weather site, right? When is John Mayer's birthday? If you say it into your phone or type it in, they give you the answer. Now I don't need to click on your celebrity site. Yeah, that sucks for you. Sorry, Pop Sugar. Don't need you. Something I was going to do, I can't. I did it on Sunday. It was dope. I hit the voice thing on my phone, and I said, is SEER Interactive open? SEER Interactive will be open at 9 a.m. on Monday, was the answer it read back to me. Don't got to click on your site. Don't have to see all your ads. Got my answer. Here's a link to many, many, many more of these. You guys, and this is the person you have to follow. You've got to follow Dr. Pete because it's his job to just do research on this, and he works at SEO Moz. So he's not part of the Google side where he won't tell you things. You've got to look at what's coming and see, is Google attacking an area where I am making money? Like I said, type in weather into your phone. Say, is it going to rain today, right? Do I need my umbrella? I don't know what queries they're matching. But you know what? When you see this, do you need to go to the weather sites with all their ads and their pop-up? Sign up for our, no, I just want to know, do I have to get an umbrella or not? Sign up for our newsletter. I don't want your newsletter. I just want to know if I got to bring an umbrella or not. Google's like, you know what? Those guys are in the way. So we'll just show the answer ourselves, and we're going to make it easier for you. And is this easier than the pop-up that comes up and the overlay and the buy my shit, we want to make money? Yeah, it is. And now they're making none. When was Yahoo founded? When was YouTube founded? Questions that we wonder. Well, I do at least. And they give you the answers. It's interesting how Facebook kind of got the shaft on this. Good job, Google. But like, think about it. There are sites that were built that answered these questions, and most of them were pretty thin. They didn't really offer a whole lot of extra value, but they had a bunch of ads for you to see. Now when I type in John Mayer, they go, oh, he's playing near you. I go, great, sweet. I click on that. It runs a totally different set of queries that isn't the typical query that I would run, but then it shows me there where places I can buy tickets. So you're thinking, oh, I rank number 3 for that. I'm telling you, when that box to the right shows up, we have seen it affect traffic from anywhere from 20 to 50% for a query. So if half of the people are now clicking on the box on the right, and you click on the event, that's a totally different query. You might need to rank for that if you're making money on tickets. So don't hold it against me. I was wondering what Teresa Giudice's net worth was, and I found this site. Now, if you aren't familiar with Teresa Giudice, she's a friend of Sean Collins, North Jersey. She's one of the Jersey housewives, the one that flipped the table over. I won't do that because it's in my contract that if I do it, I'll have to pay for it. But what's interesting is when you type that in on a desktop search, it shows regular sites. This is a screen grab from my mobile. Sweet, got the answer. Don't need to click on any of these celebrity net worth sites that are just like ads, 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 ads. What happens to your traffic? What happens to your business when Google starts giving people answers quicker than they ever have? And that's how you make money. Where did Michelle Obama go to college? Here it is, and I'll even throw in her high school. What's Amazon's customer service phone number? Oh, we'll just give you that. I wonder if Google does that to keep Amazon people busy, right? They're all competitors, right? Oh, you got the fire? We're going to make sure that every time somebody types in customer service, they get the number super easy. Sites used to make money off of queries like this. Ask yourself, are you one of those sites, and what's it going to do to your business? Something else that I believe, and you all believe, friends are better than strangers. They are. Well, it depends on what you're into, but for the most part, friends are better than strangers, right? I want recommendations from my friends. How many of you walk outside today and you're trying to find a good beer bar or someplace to grab a drink or a bite, and you go out there and you go, anybody? Anyone? Where's a good place for me to get a beer? Anyone? Do you do that? Do you go out in the middle of the street on the corner and ask that way? Right. You ask your friends. You ask people what they know. You go to Yelp, but Yelp to me is the same equivalent. If somebody loves Coors Light, and I hate that shit, I want an IPA. I want something hoppy. So if I go out and I go, ooh, this person on Yelp rated this bar really high. Well, if they love Coors Light, what good is that doing for me? I'm going to the wrong bar. So you got to start thinking about your network. How many of you are familiar or have played around with graph search at all? Facebook's graph search? Cool. If you write some quality content and you actually use Facebook a decent amount, I can find out friends of friends who used to work at ESPN. Well, why? Because I might need a connection to promote something that I'm writing or get some feedback on something I'm trying to build in the sports space. And the beauty is that these are actually people I know. So you got to be careful. If you're one of those people that makes friends with everybody on Facebook, they might actually not be your friends. They might just be somebody who you requested to get your numbers up, right? But that's completely different. But me, I typically only connect with my friends on Facebook, which means this query is very helpful for me. Because everybody that comes up as to how we're connected, I can then actually ask for an introduction if that person isn't going around trying to be internet famous and make a bunch of friends. My friends of friends who work at the New York Times as editors, trying to get my content somewhere out there on a popular and quality site to send Google the right signals. This is how you can start to mine that information. Obviously, Google's looking to get more impressions. That's how they make more money on search. So they've completely redone their maps. How many of you are in the maps preview? Ooh, not many. OK, get in the maps preview. It's a completely different browsing experience. It lets them show more ads. But when I typed in beer selection, because I live down in that lower right-hand area down there, it shows me all the icons. Well, where do you rank for this keyword? What ranking report is going to tell you where you rank for this keyword? Google's going to be trying to push us pretty hard to start using map searches. As they do it, what good is your ranking report? It doesn't matter. Which one's number one here? You got to start thinking this stuff is going to change. What's also super cool is the Your Circles option. Now, right now, nobody uses Google+, so it's not as useful. But you know what? It will happen. It will happen. I believe it. And what will happen is when you click on Your Circles, it will show this map with all of your friends' recommendations over it. I have a friend who is a big steak guy. Not cheesesteak, regular steak. And I went to New York, and I was looking for a steak restaurant. And sure enough, on my map, it showed him recommending a place. And I like him, and we've had steak together before, so I know he's got good taste. It's not like, Outback. So I went, sweet, let me just go there. So much more valuable. Friends are better than strangers. All Google's got to do is buy Foursquare. You know that, right? And you know that they're hurting. And all of a sudden, this whole thing becomes populated in a day. And nobody wants to buy Foursquare. So Google could do it whenever they wanted to. What if I type in best beer bars in Philadelphia? This is the kind of thing that we used to write content around, right? I write content, and I curate content around, beer and beer bars and all crap. Google's now showing the results at the top. What happens if you have a site that's about beer and reviewing beer? What happens to your traffic? Not only are they showing the map, which shows me how to get to where I want to get to right from my phone, which has GPS, they're also giving what we call the local carousel. So if you're seeing this, it's called the local carousel. If you're trying to understand how it works, don't Google black strip at top of Google. Wrong query. You won't find what you're looking for. It's called the local carousel. And this is all about ratings, reviews. And we're trying to play with this a little bit because notice it's not like the simple numbers anymore. So it's not like whoever has the most ratings is in the first spot. Those days are over. So somehow, we're starting to do research on this. We had this show up for a client who used to rank for words like things to do in different cities. The day this launched, that company started losing their traffic to the tune of 30% lower the next day, and it's been that way ever since. Completely messing with their business. And it's our job to figure out, because they're not a destination, they're an aggregator of destinations. Google's like, we're just going to give it to you direct. It's going to be a challenge. There's still people who click down here. Remember, I said they're only losing 30%, so they're not gone, they're not done. But you see where this train is going to go. Pour a little out. Atlantic City with kids. Not a whole lot to do in Atlantic City with kids. But Google's actually showing a couple of things your kids may want to do. Now, I don't know why they just put up random casinos in there, but this is Atlantic City, so who knows. But at least there's Ripley's Believe It or Not. There's the aquarium. There's the Flyers Skate Zone, which is a skate park. So what happens in your travel, aggregation, things to do in my city query? 30%. The problem is that you're probably looking at some ranking report that's going, you're doing wonderful. You're still number 3. But your traffic is going like this, even though your ranking is staying the same. It's why ranking should become less and less of a factor as to how you are performing. Because as Google gets more personalized in search results, you really don't know where you rank. You type in a word in one place in the city versus another place in the city, you might get different results. So I won't get on that soapbox, but I'm serious. Like it's one of those things where it's becoming less and less and less important. How do things look for you on your mobile device for your sites? Google has come out and said, we're going to lower your rankings. We are going to lower your rankings if you have a bad user experience on the mobile. This makes sense. You know why it makes sense? Because whenever you query something on Google and you don't get what you want, what do you say? Google's got it wrong. You never say, I'm a jackass that doesn't know how to query something. You go, Google doesn't know how to figure it out. They're stupid. So Google knows that. And they don't go, you're stupid. They go, you know what? We just got to make sure that we fix that so you don't think we're stupid. So when you have a bad mobile user experience, you go, that's not what I wanted. This site's crap. Google goes, well, we're going to have to be part of fixing that. So what are we going to do? We're going to start knocking the sites out of the top rankings who have a poor mobile user experience on the mobile. So again, your ranking report is not going to tell you that. Your ranking report is going to say, you're awesome. You're doing great. You're ranked at number 3. Problem is if you're not ranking at all on the mobile and there's a lot of people searching for it, maybe you're not. So here it is. It's an official screen grab from Google. Google recommends that you build responsive sites. That's a good recommendation in most instances, but I'm going to show you one where it's not. So something that I did a while ago is I built a website that broke down how different companies make money. And I'm a big fan of just like starting to type things into Google and just kind of see what comes back. It's giving me some new ideas, ways to think about new things. What are people looking for? Where is there a hole in information that I could potentially build something to answer that question? And we built this. Got tons of links and all that stuff, Huffington Post, Wired magazine, all that crap. But I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is that I had to get forced into doing it responsive. So the design company that did this for us was like, you got to do it responsive. I'm like, I don't want to pay more money to do it responsive. I'm like, it's just a test. And they're like, no, we're going to do it anyway. So they did. 20% of the people that hit this were on a mobile device. Shocked me. So 20% of people that hit this site came from a mobile. Their experience would have been garbage if we didn't do it in a responsive design. And as a result, it would have gotten less shares and less movement. I'm going to give you another example. You type in Motrin. One of the most popular searches associated with Motrin is dosage. 8,100 searches are done on the word Motrin dosage. You see it? How often are you looking at this and then changing that little drop-down box to mobile? Once I change it to all mobile devices, you see there are more people searching for Motrin dosage on their mobile than they are on the desktop. Why do you think that's the case? Stop whispering. Not a bad idea, right? You pick up your phone, you got your headache. You're not like, when you're hungover, or not hungover, whenever you have a headache, you're not thinking like, oh, let me go upstairs or downstairs and wait, password, wait, browser, right? You're like, oh my God, I just want the answer quick. The other thing is that you don't want to kill grandma. You're at Walgreens and you're getting something, you're ready to give grandma a dosage, you don't want to give grandma the wrong dose. Well, maybe grandma's got a lot of money, but that's for a different conversation. This query is searched for more on the mobile than it is the desktop. This phenomenon is not new, and there are certain pockets where there are more searches being done on the mobile than the desktop. Think about the experience you're driving people to when they hit your site on a mobile. Drop this in while this tool is still available, because Google's getting rid of it, where you take your most popular keywords, your money keywords, and see how often people are searching for it on the mobile. Track that every month. As that number gets bigger and bigger, if it ends up like this, you may eventually wake up one day and go, why am I not getting as much traffic as I used to, as much sales as I used to? Well, because Google might have had you on a mobile result at position 10 or 12 or less. But on the desktop, you might be 2 or 3. And as more people search for that query on a mobile device, this could cause you problems. It's a different context. When I'm searching on my mobile, I might want something different. What's the experience of different sites when I type this in? I want to show you. Advil. Advil went responsive. 90% of this is about selling me stuff. 10% is about helping me, right? Motrin took a different approach. 55, 45, sales to helping. When you click on the right-hand side on Motrin, you know what it does? It shows you a picture of like grandma, a middle-aged adult, a child, and a toddler. You click it, it tells you what dosage you need. You can buy the stuff, you can get on with your day. If they just took their regular site and made it responsive, it might not have answered the query appropriately. Here it is. I'm not making this stuff up. Google says they are willing to take away your rankings on mobile results. You want to know when your flight is? Just ask Google. Type in, when is my flight? And then it'll give you this box. And then you say, OK, I got it. Or you can say it into your phone. When is my flight?
U.S. Airways Flight 851 from PHL to DEN leaves at 6:10 p.m. on September 4th.
It's a lot easier than looking through your freaking inbox and all of your folders. When is my flight, Google? Oh, here it is. Thank you. Right? What happens? Like, are you trying to optimize for when is my flight? Oh, I got to get more anchor text for when is my flight. I see that keyword's getting more volume. No, 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 no. Right? Google wants to answer questions quicker and quicker and quicker than they ever have. And seriously, you all know. How many of you guys know exactly when your flight is, when you're leaving? Right. So what are you going to do? Oh, I got to go through my phone and my connection's good, right? Oh, phone, click, click. Where did I put it? Search, right? No, that's the one from last week. Pain in the ass. Google's like, we'll just make it easier for you. And now it just shows up in my browser. Sweet. It shows up on my phone when I ask it the freaking question. Sweet. Yeah, it's nice when you have the world's largest email service and the world's largest browser share or the mobile device share and the world's largest browser share and the world's largest search engine. It puts them in a position to make our lives easier. But for some of you, think about it. If I'm US Air, I'm pissed. Because they used to have to go to their site. I used to have to download their app. They get to market to me more. They get to retarget to me. They get to put ads about, like, do you want to go on some vacation, $200 off? All that opportunity for them is gone the minute this becomes the way to do it. And seriously, now you people have seen this, are you ever going to go back to, OK, usairways.com, click, wait. Username, not going to tell you. Password, not going to tell you that either. And then it's like, OK, now where is it? Oh, OK, my flights, click. OK, let me go. Think about how much time that takes. Or you could just say, Google, when's my flight? Done. There it is. Thank you. Let me get on the plane so I can be super scared. So what you're seeing is you're seeing some things that are probably like, oh, crap, well, what the hell? Should I just tap out? Like, is it over? No, it's not over. Awesome Monkey says you can do it. Awesome Monkey gives you the thumbs up. It's not over. But you got to do something that I've been calling RCS, which is an abbreviation for real company shit. You have to do real company shit. Things that real companies do. Real companies don't try to optimize for freaking misspelled terms or to go to forums and spam them. That's not what they do. They do things like add value. They build community. They address their users' needs. Not that Google needs to rank for anything, but they're like, you know what people don't like to do? They don't like to have to go through their phones and looking for their freaking flight when they're like with the bag and all that crap, right? They make it easier. They've addressed a need. I want to talk about another Philadelphian that I love, Frank DiMizio. Frank DiMizio was the head of social media for the Philadelphia Police Department. If you had a problem, they would actually help you try to solve it over Twitter. Most police departments didn't. Twitter? Who uses that? Frank was a pioneer in Philly in terms of breaking through and getting somehow this very antiquated government to allow him to sit around and tweet back to people when they had problems. So he would search on Twitter for things like car broken in, whatnot, mentioning Philly, looking at things like what your GPS coordinates were when you said it, and he would start outreaching to people. It's how we've got what, up until the Boston incident, was considered to be the most advanced social media police force in the country. Now they've moved his desk to something else, freaking Philly politics. Frank and I met and we talked about a video project that was going on in Philly to help people stay safe. Everybody here like to stay safe? Anybody here like going down shady alleyways? Didn't think so. Going down shady alleyways is not part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but safety is. Yeah, I broke out a Maslow's hierarchy of needs reference. He talked about his video project in Philly. We piggybacked off of this, and for a client of ours who's in the video surveillance space, we crowdsourced video surveillance in your neighborhood so you could help make it more safe. Got our client on the news. Real company shit. Jim Gardner's not interviewing some fake company shit. For those of you who aren't locals, Jim Gardner, Channel 6, that's, you know, we're Philadelphians. We have our news stations in this city, and you watch your news station. You don't go cheating on Jim Gardner. You stay to Channel 6. Client ends up in the newspaper. We addressed a need. Who doesn't want to feel safe in their urban city? It's called Community Cam. You can go to it right now. When you're walking out of here, there's an app and everything. You just click, oh, there's a security camera there. Why? Because if something ever goes down on your street, you're like, oh, I can look on my street and see where all the video cameras are and tell the cops, and send it right to the cops. Here's my street. Here's all the security cameras there. That came from sitting down with a cop, right? Over coffee. That's how we kind of do our CS. It's what we believe, right? That's right. I had to turn that up for a second. Sorry. Apologies. That's right. I can just turn it on mute super quick. I got a new button for me. So I want to ask you, when's the last time you did something that was memorable? When's the last time you built something that people wanted to freaking bookmark? Because it was so good they didn't want to lose it. They always wanted to be able to get back to it. I think bookmarks are kind of dying, but you know what I mean. Is the search for your brand growing, or your main domain? Are more people looking for your domain month in, month out? It's a pretty important signal to send to Google. If not, you're probably not doing anything that's making people remember your brand. Are you addressing a need? I'm lazy. I like beer. I have a dog. I never knew that I could put my beer on my dog's back and have her shake it all up before she gets it to me as I spill it on myself. So it doesn't really address a need entirely, but it's closer, right? There's an apparatus that will get me a beer from my dog without me having to get off my butt. But it's all shook up. Somebody figure out a way to get the non-shook up version of this and then become their affiliate. What are you doing that's adding value and making people's lives easier? These are the ways that I think you're going to win. Have you ever built something that you feel is legitimately the best answer to a question on the web? Hopefully you have. Because if you haven't, we're going to be pouring a little bit out for you. 2 or 3 years. Google's rewarding brand behavior. Now you can try to fake this and, oh, can I get a bunch of people on Odesk to search for my brand? Google ain't that stupid anymore. Don't even think about it. Why don't you actually do real company shit to make people want to search for your brand? Google's finally rewarding building community. Engagement and connecting with your community. You're actually starting to get rewarded for it. See, 6 years ago, Ray knows this, Google said, you should do these things. And we went out and tried to do them. And we went, wait, but I'm getting my ass kicked. You said I should do this, and more people searching for my brand and connecting with my community, and where's my prize? Number 16. I don't make any money down there. This guy just got a bunch of links in a forum, and he's kicking my ass. But it's starting to happen. So to me, something that I notice is like affiliates are like guys who try to monetize too soon. It's true. Sometimes people don't start off with passion. What do I love? Who do I know that loves something that could make some more money if I just showed them 2 or 3 things that I know how to do? It's funny. I'm not going to out anybody, but I could. How often do you sit down at your lunch table? Hey, what are you interested in? What are you passionate about? Making money. Okay, sweet. Right? You're passionate about making money? You're not going to win because you're not going to build community if your whole reason is to make money because everything's going to be a shortcut. How can I most quickly make as much money as possible never builds community. So I got a challenge for you. Build something or get into a community with no plan to monetize it. Are you asking me to do work and not make a dime? Yes, I am. And then when you do it, or if you've already done it, tag it with RCS, and I will try to help promote and push that shit. because that's what I believe in. I believe that's the kind of thing that we need to do. When I met with Frank DeMizio, I wasn't thinking, I'm going to meet with him so I can pull something out of him and get my client on the news. I just met with him over coffee because I thought he was an interesting guy. And it's interesting what came out of that was killed something for one of my clients. Ah, right. Short-term thinking. Ah, look at these, two of our favorite people. Next year's keynote, A-Royd. He needs the money. Short-term thinking leads to this. Yeah, got you, Yankees fans. You're in Philly, damn it. There was no way I wasn't going to try to get an A-Royd reference in here. All right, but it's painful. It's painful in the end. It's going to hurt. And I know that people here are hurting sometimes because I hear it. And I try to help people out where I can. My site isn't doing this. My site isn't doing that. And a lot of is SEO bullshit queries are probably coming from you guys. Why? Because you were probably sold a bunch of bullshit. And you're like, I paid these people and they were supposed to do some SEO and now I'm not getting paid. And they're all tricking somebody else. It's painful. Take a look at drugs.com. Let's go back to adding value. I type in aspirin dosage. Look at the ads. Whoop. Now tell me, what's the right dosage for grandma so I don't kill her when I'm on my mobile? Can't see it. So what's drugs.com trying to do? Are they trying to be the best monetized, or are they trying to be the best answer? I think you know the answer to that freaking question. What do you think is going to happen to their rankings on the mobile when I got to scroll through 10 freaking pages to say, am I going to kill grandma? I ain't going to find it, so I'm going to hit the back button. And Google's going to go, you know what? We're going to lower their rankings. And then someday they're going to go, oh my God, the steroids. And see, this is why I think the internet hates us. You know, it's like the silo of pig crap. The internet hates us because of things like this. I love Philly, if you haven't been able to tell yet. I love this city. I run a forum and have run a forum for 13 years. Trying to help people figure out when you move here, do you got a dog? What's a good area for you to live in? Because I love Philly that much. And you know what people do? They shit on the fact that I love Philly and they do stuff like this to my forum. And I got to clean it up. And other moderators have to clean it up. Because people are shitting on it, trying to do shortcuts. I'm trying to help people out. I've been doing it for 13 years. Oh, hell no. You're messing up my stuff. Linda Carter says, oh, hell no. You're spamming me. Yeah, so we took some area about Spring Garden. Ooh, those guys in Indonesia sure are getting tricky. So we took something about Spring Garden, which is a neighborhood, and threw in some bullshit words and threw in backyard gardens. Not going to work. The beautiful thing is that as this stuff doesn't work, we get less and less spam. But that's garbage. That's bullshit. That is definitely not SEO. This page ranks for something like, I think it's something related to gaming and satellite internet. Anybody here have a child who likes to play video games? Do they like reading 15 paragraphs about things anymore? On their phone, remember? No. You know what I want to know? Break down Xbox, PS3, Wii, whatever it is, how much bandwidth they need, what games need that bandwidth, and then let me go. That's my question. So this piece of affiliate marketing ranks. Does it add value? Linda Carter already told us what she thinks about that. Why do we write content like this? Because everybody wants to be Lil Wayne and Fat Joe. That's the problem. That's why we write, because I'm here to make money. I'm not here to help people actually figure out whether or not their satellite internet can actually play an Xbox game or not. Fuck that. No, what we're going to do is we're going to try to find a way to trick these people into clicking on our affiliate ad so we can make some money. And then when they find out that they can't play their video game on it, they're not going to remember me. They're going to blame Dish. One more time. Right? Think about the legacy that leaves. That's bullshit. We do things like this in corners in the back of rooms. You know that blog links are no follow now. What's the response to that? I guess I'll stop commenting then. Wrong answer. Commenting is a way to build community, to get engaged with a community of people. It's not a way just to throw a link in. I swear to God, if anybody in here ever doesn't use your name as in the name field, and instead you're like, Philadelphia Doctor, as like your name so you can get a link, first of all, it doesn't add any value. Second of all, it makes you look really obvious. Your name is not Philadelphia Doctor. Your name is not Backyard Gardens. And what's funny is that when we see low quality content, you know, when you do a search and you see eHow or about.com, are you like, I can't wait to click on that because I know I'm going to see a quality answer. So what's funny is that we hate us too. It's funny how we put shit out, but then when we get tricked by our own shit, we're like, man, no, this sucks. Oh, I hate this. I got tricked. But it's true. It's funny that we put out something that pollutes part of the web at times. We've all been a part of that, so I'm not being holier than thou. But then when it happens to us, we get all pissed off. Can't find my answer. Right, and somebody's going, right? This is why I love personalized search. Because I'm going to get recommendations from my friends. I'd rather get a recommendation from my friend than somebody who can trick Google. So when I do a search, I like those little icons that show up and show me my friends and people that are recommending things. So Google's rewarding building community, like I said before. See, I'm going to go to Denver. You heard it. I knew you'd be here. So I typed friends of friends who live in Denver. Why? Because you just heard it. I have a flight going to Denver. Not soon. Soon enough. And then I can meet up with my friends who are actually here in Philly. Right? This is important. This is how you build community. Now, there's only 3 results. Maybe I should also put in some other cities as well, or the whole state maybe, but it's a big state. Either way, this is how you build community. You know, Ray will be speaking later, and Ray's built communities before, and I hope she gets to give you guys a little bit of a peek into the curtain, because it starts with trying to help 2 or 3 people. It doesn't start with like, oh, you've got this big forum and you've done all this. It's like, no, for a long time it was just me trying to help people out with their problems. It doesn't start off as like, it can become that if you believe that starting off by helping people solve their problems actually can lead to that. People ask me this all the time. I see brands all the time when I search on Google. Why does Google do it? See, I search for bedroom lamps. I don't need to see Walmart and Target and Home Goods and Macy's. You're searching for it. See? That's what that box is. So people go, why is Google ranking brands? Because you want that. It's showing it right here. For the searches, Walmart, Target, Home Goods, Macy's, brands. You're searching for it. Google's just giving you what you want. So 3 years ago, I gave a keynote. Thanks for having me back. The title was No Effing Shortcuts. If some of you guys had taken my advice then, we wouldn't be pouring a little bit out to you now. I'm hoping that this time it sinks in a little bit. See, I love Penguin and Panda because they validated my beliefs, which were that this stuff wasn't going to work forever. I knew it wasn't, but I needed that to be validated. So when Penguin came along, I went, you know why? Because clients were like, people were like, you were saying this years ago. Maybe you actually know a thing or two about this search thing. And that other company they were doing like backyard gardens in forums. Maybe they're the wrong people for me to work with. So it's been like a slow bleed for the last 3 years for some of you guys. I want to help you to fix that. But I want you to try your asses off to add value. When you get ready to build something, you think like Odesk. It's okay to use Odesk, but are you ultimately adding value with what you're doing? Or are you building another one of those crappy pages that we all hate when we get them? So we built this for a client. It's not doing that well. So sometimes when you try to build this stuff doesn't work the way you planned. So this is around bedroom lighting, right? But look at it. If you're looking for ideas, this is bedroom lighting ideas, like one of the words we're targeting. It might not be your style, but does it give you some ideas for bedroom lighting? Not bad, right? Well, let me show you what's ranking. Thanks, Overstock. Is it better than that? I think so. I'm a little bit biased on this, so if you disagree, you can tell me. If you want to read paragraphs about bedroom lighting ideas, be my guest. I'd rather just show you the pictures. Is it better than this? Oh, we're not going to show you any ideas, which are going to be shitty in a bunch of paragraphs, until we ask you if you want a free membership to something you've not even seen yet. You know what's really scary about this on the mobile? If you're one of those people that loves little pop-ups, sign up for my newsletter stuff, check it on the mobile. Because a lot of times it's hard to close that crap out. You can't find it, and you go right back to the search engines. And when that happens over and over and over again, Google's already said they're going to lower your rankings if you don't deliver a good mobile user experience. So if I can't close out your box, when I get to your site on my mobile, you are only leading to your own demise. So be smart about the visual, about the overlays you put up, because they can hurt you and they can hurt your rankings. So I'm asking you as I wrap up here. I know everybody says make great content, but no, I really believe that, right? Like I'll go to war with those other two guys. I'll go to war with Overstock and Better Homes and Gardens with this. I think it answers people's questions better than both of those mofos. So I will stay at it, and I will keep working on this, and my team will keep working at it because we think it's a better answer. Can you say that about the things that you're building? If you can't, go build it. So I want you to monetize after. Stop trying to monetize too soon, guys and girls. See, the beauty is that what I love about affiliates is you guys see gold where other people just see a marshy field of crap. Why would I want to walk through that marshy field of crap? Because there's gold there. You guys see opportunity in ways that no one else sees. They're never going to see it, or their companies are too slow to figure it out. So by the time they go, oh, we should do this, you could be well ahead of these guys. That is your opportunity. You want to partner with brands and not just be in their regular old network. Build something that they love, that they can't figure out how to build internally or get the buy-in to build or the budget to build. Check the CEOs and the CMOs of the companies that you're doing affiliate marketing for. Find out what they're writing about, what they're talking about, and what conferences they're going to. And then go to your partners and say, I want to build this thing because I'm seeing your CEO talk about this everywhere she goes. I want to build this thing. And they're going, thank you so much. You know why? Because they're going, I can't get that built this year. I don't have the budget. I don't have the time. I don't have the dev resources, right? That's how you build a higher level relationship. Here's a couple of examples. Have you ever just been like, you know, I just want to get the freak out of, well, I never want to get the freak out of Philly. But have you ever been like, I want to get the freak out of wherever I live? This affiliate basically is saying, we're going to show you things all over the world that show you how much it costs, what's the cheapest cost to get there. So if I got $600, I'm like, crap, I can get to somewhere in the middle of Europe. I don't know what this is. I probably have to zoom in a little bit, but it's somewhere around France. France isn't bad. Ha-ha. I'll go. I can say when, right? Useful. Because we've all had that time where we're like, I just got to get out of here. And I got $200 to do it. This tool is showing you all the places you can go without you having to type in anything other than your city. And then there are unmonetized options like this. Anybody ever see the Avoid plugin? This helps you to know if the site you're using uses sweatshop labor. So when you go, if you have this plugin installed, it'll tell you if the company you're willing to buy from uses sweatshop labor. Unmonetized. Can you imagine what you could do with that? These guys beat up poor little kids in Pakistan. These guys over here, link affiliate, don't. But you got to start with doing something that makes value and adds value so that you can build something that's so big that then you can monetize it later. If you started off monetizing this, everyone would see right through it and think it was a scam. If you do it later, you can make a ton of money. Adam Kramer, the guy I started the presentation off with, he just wants to buy more bikes. He's unmonetized. It's actually not true. That video led to him launching a reality TV show from a video. You think he's making money on that? He's just going to buy more bikes with that money, but that's what he wants. Why can't you as affiliates find people who have passion and help them live out their passion and partner with them? You might not find them on a network, right? You might have to go and have coffee with a lot of people. There's a lot of passionate people in the world who have no idea how to do what you do. They don't see the gold that you see. It's probably time for you guys to help people like him. But when you approach him, check this out. Several companies came to him saying they wanted to do a reality TV show with him. He said no, because it's not about making money, remember? He wanted to do something that was good for Philly. So I love Philly. Philly people just like love Philly. So that's who he chose to work with, because he's got a passion and a soul about bikes and about Philly. So I'm Will. If you guys have any questions, I will take them. And my passion is helping you guys to be successful. So I got a booth. It's just like 2 turntables and a microphone. It's just me. I will answer any questions you have. I will have my laptop. It is fully charged. I will get on the internet, and I will try to answer any questions that you guys have. I don't have a freaking ebook. We're super expensive, so I'm not trying to get new clients. I didn't even bring my business cards. I just actually want to help you guys out. So if you've got any questions about anything I presented, something that's kicking your ass, something that you've heard that you're like, this didn't sound right to me, if I can answer the question, I will. And I'll start taking questions now if I have time still to do it. Thank you so much.
Got about probably 10 minutes.
Sweet, I'm here as long as you guys want me. Day's blocked out.
For local search, and you have maybe 20 different, say you have a hospital that has 20 different outline, you want to optimize for local search. Mm-hmm. For local, how do you do that in Google Analytics and make sure that each place gets its proper ranking and not screw up the other one? What's the best way to do that?
And your name?
Deborah.
Deborah, thank you for asking that question. So I've had the fortune, you're a Philly girl, awesome. So I've had the fortune of working with 2 or 3 hospitals in my time. And I've worked with them on local search specifically. The biggest problem is claiming your damn listings. Like, because there's some number that you call into that nobody answers, and then trying to get that through Google's verification process is a pain in the ass. It took us 6 months to get that done for like 10% of a local hospital, okay? So I would say just keep hammering away at trying to get your local listings. The other thing I will tell you is a lot of queries today are showing local intent without people putting the word Philadelphia in front of it. So one thing you don't need to do is to just hammer pages with like, I got to put the word Philadelphia all over it. Google knows that if I say I'm looking for a bariatric surgeon, bariatric surgery I might. I'm probably not flying to California for that, right? So the one thing I would say is if you're trying to rank well in local search, one thing you don't have to do is to constantly just kind of Philadelphia, and we're the best in Philadelphia, and we're the #1 ranked in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's awesome, and cheesesteaks probably got you. You don't need that anymore. But claiming the listings is what I would work on every single day because it's really, really hard to get those listings. You got another question? Yep. Oh, for sure. Okay, so there's a lot there. So what she asked was, should she put schema on the, and Ray might be able to help me with this, on the homepage footer, which is a given, yeah. We just did it recently and helped us with something on local because I had forgotten about it. For the main hospital. But then for one of our clients who wasn't in the medical area, what we did is we actually created a separate page for each location. And we saw like a dramatic rise in their search traffic by being able to give Google more direction versus having like one page with like everything. We just broke down the separate pages for each location. And I saw the data on this. It was a 3-digit percentage level lift in local-based searches. Now that was about a year ago, and a lot's changed. But that definitely was a major helper for our one client.
We're all good at some things and not so good at others. When we're choosing people to work with, subcontractors especially, do you have any tips on how to choose them? Because I find that, me personally, I often choose people more like myself, and I don't want to do that.
Your name?
Don.
Don? Thanks for the question, Don. When you say people like yourself, let's have a Dr. Oz moment here. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, with this, that remind me of myself rather than people that have the strengths that I'm looking for more and are more diametrically opposite of me so that we get a good complement of one another rather than duplication.
Okay. So I don't know a lot about hiring, but I do a lot of it.
Okay. Or the second part of it would be basically how can you tell the people that are talk and no walk?
Okay. So this comes from mistakes that I have made. Don't get fooled by someone's freaking Twitter followers, right? Doesn't mean they know shit. Some people, so I read this book called Quiet, the Power of Introverts, because I am a little more extroverted in some ways, and I wanted to get better at hiring people who didn't come in with the flash, oh, I've written this blog post, oh, I do this, I do that. So I wanted to study how I can better understand those people so I can put them at a level playing field. What you find is that there's a world of people out there who may not knock on your door as aggressively as some others, who they get their value and they get happy off of seeing clients be successful. There's another pool of people who get happy off of like, just crossed 500 followers. Yeah, I'm awesome, right? So when push comes to shove, that person, when there's a deadline, something needs to be hit, the person, they almost can't help themselves but to get off of the Twitters because it's so like, I gotta send out one more tweet. And the client work doesn't get done. So what I have found is I don't look for people who are the opposite of me. I look for people with skills that I can't train. Ethics, integrity. When they say they're going to do something, they do it. You know, it's a shame. But I think today, somewhere that got lost. Like our parents, when they said they were going to do something, they did it. Somewhere along the way in hiring people today, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I forgot that, I'll get it to you tomorrow. And they think that that's okay. So that I look for the things you can't teach people, and then I will work with teaching them on a lot of other things related to search. I can teach someone search in 3 or 4 months. I can't teach you to be ethical, right? Or maybe I could, but that would just take up way too much time. So I don't tend to look for people who are the opposite of me. I might look for opposite skills, but I always look for the same kind of core fundamental beliefs. So I don't end up with somebody who I go, you really did that to somebody you work with? Like, WTF? So yeah, that's just my take on hiring. Sure.
Will, what's your thoughts on using, I use my hashtags with Google authorship, but also hashtags for local events I might be talking about going on around town, like the Denver Zoo is going to have a big elephant fest, or the Denver Museum of Natural History is going to have an event, and I'm talking about that, and adding the various hashtags. How well does that work in the new drive down that Google has for community?
Good question. Your name?
Mike Macy.
Mike. All right. Thanks for that question, Mike. So those are very different things to me. See, I believe if you build community, wherever Google goes, you got an army of people behind you. Oh, Google wants me to do this? I got 2,000 people who are willing to do that because they love me, right? So I like hashtags and like updates and things like that because it helps you to kind of get some level of community kind of sort of around a hashtag. It's interesting to take a hashtag, pull out all of the tweets, and then drop it into a tool like a tag crowd and see what does that audience tend to talk about the most associated with this topic, okay? That helps you then figure out how do you reach out to these people, how do you engage and connect with them. Google communities on Google+, I kid you not, some of them are legit and really good. The 3D printing community on Google+ is amazing. It's got like 70-something thousand people subscribed, all of which, when they start adding you to their circles, you got a chance to show up in their personalized searches, which raises your rankings, right? But then indirectly, it helps you to understand what their troubles are, what they're pissed off about, and all those things. So actually, I'd say look into some of your communities on Google+. If there's not a lot of people there, don't spend a lot of time there. The other thing I'll say is if you use hashtags on Instagram, huge. Like, use like 50 of them, right? Because that's what everybody does. And it's interesting, I've learned this, is it actually helps you to build a followership. You take that same strategy onto like Twitter, people will think you're a loser. It's like one on Twitter seems to be the right thing, and then like 50,000 on Instagram tends to be the, but it depends on where your community is. So if somebody's taking a hashtag Denver Zoo, you might want to look that up with a tool like Webstagram and see who's tagging that, right? And then start engaging with them there. It's not going to help you to rank tomorrow. That's not the goal. It's to reach out. Hey, what did you enjoy about your experience at the zoo? What didn't you like? We're trying to make sure that you want to come back again. You can start that dialogue. That's how you build that army of community, in my opinion. And then later, you can remarket to them in email. Screw Google. Hit them with email, right? There's so many other ways you can monetize and engage and connect with people that don't always require you to go through the Google. Everybody's got to type it into the box. So this are some ideas that I would have for you.
So we use Instagram to take the picture of the area.
Yep.
Then we use tags for likes to create the custom hashtags, and then add some local ones into that, and then put that on Foursquare. And all of a sudden, my friends are just exploding across the country, coming and following a particular site.
Well, dude, if it's working, man, and do it. I would just say, I just try to be very cognizant of different communities, so that one thing that works really well in one community might not work in another. I'm not a huge Foursquare guy. I mean, I use it. I check in on stuff because I have to know what it's all about. But it doesn't really seem to, it's hard for me to build community around that for most of my clients. But when you've got a local place where people are checking in, it does make it a lot easier. So it sounds like you're blanketing everything pretty well. I think analyzing the hashtag is probably helpful, but also looking at what other hashtags people use to talk about what you do is really important, because you might call it one thing, but as we know even today, people might call it something entirely different, and then you're not following those conversations. So it's one thing about what you're putting out there. I'd also recommend that you see what other hashtags people use to describe your location. So in that way, you've got a chance to say, oh, well, there's this whole group of other people over here using a different hashtag than I am, and how do I engage and connect with them? And there's one more over there, too, if we can take it. Or you can just meet me upstairs. I'll be at the booth, just helping out.
Hi, Will. My name is Rob. I'm a 5-year local. When you build an awesome video like the motorcycle video, and you spread it to your network, and it doesn't get beyond your network, like, what's the next step to get the word out there?
So the first thing I ask myself is, was this shit awesome? Was it awesome? Because my circle of friends probably didn't think so too much, right? But if you really believe it's awesome, it's actually a great thing to do with hashtags. So what you find is, we're working with a motorcycle client, not that guy, he's just some guy in Fishtown. We're working with a motorcycle client, and I was interested to see how often people use the hashtag like Ducati porn, right? So, people use food porn, skyscraper porn, cloud porn. Ducati porn was kind of picking up. So if we're going to build something around the Ducati for this client, what I need to do is I need to start getting that client today involved in the Ducati porn hashtag on Instagram, because there's already a community there. So then if I try to launch it in my own community the first time and it doesn't take, and then I look at it and I go, is this shit? And I go, no, this is good. This is good. I'm going to keep at it. Then I start looking for where the community that would care about what I've done exists. And then I go and I ask them. I don't push it on them. I ask them, I launched this thing. It doesn't really seem to be moving. Would you take 2 seconds to give me feedback on it and let me know, because I'm trying to revise it. Now what you're doing is you're actually asking people what they would want that would make them want to promote it. And then you build that, and you tweak it, and you edit it, and then suddenly they start pushing it and promoting it for you. And then if that doesn't take, sometimes you just got to say, fail. We all do that. I'd say probably 25% of the things I launch don't have the complete intended outcome, but it's part of the game, and it's half the fun. If I knew that my job was going to be the same thing every day, I would have become an accountant. Sure.
Okay, I'll do one more, then we got sessions.
Hi, Will. So you mentioned that, by the way, my name is Lyman. So you mentioned that Google is penalizing websites who are not mobile optimized. And we work, my company DataSphere, we work with over 20,000 small businesses. Small businesses sizes, maybe they'll have like 5 employees to 10 employees, 15 employees. It's like a dentist, a cupcake shop business owner. So they're very small. They don't have a marketing department typically, nor do they have big budgets to actually redesign their site. So the question is, we do build web profile pages for them that are mobile optimized. I don't know if you have an answer for this, but how does Google feel like if, let's say, for example, we were to redirect traffic from their website to a web mobile profile page, if a mobile device recognizes, hey, this person, this user is actually visiting your site from a mobile device. Would that help their search results, or does that do anything, or?
It does something. We don't know exactly what it does yet. A lot of it depends on how you do that redirect, what you do with it, how similar that content is from site to site. Google actually, in that listing that I had shown, that screen grab I had shown of them saying that they were going to, rank lower poor mobile experiences, they talk specifically about how to do just that. They say, if you're doing this and this, and you're redirecting this way, no good. If you're doing it this and this way, it's okay. So that piece is specific to that issue. And the other thing I would say is you're being saved by local search. So the beauty is that carousel for you, Google realized that small businesses can't do these things, right? Oh, build a new site, make it responsive. They're like, I make cupcakes, dude. That's where the carousel is great for people like you. Because what Google's finally doing is they're putting those guys on equal footing, so they don't need somebody to go out and spam the internet with the word cupcakes 1,000. Cupcakes in Philadelphia, cupcakes in Philly, cupcakes in Phila. You don't need that anymore, because Google's going, you know what? We're going to give a better query. We're going to give a better result. We're going to give local right there. So if you're on your phone, you can just click it, call them, right? We're gonna give you directions to it. We're gonna give you walking directions, driving directions, directions on public transit. It's all there when you search for small businesses, especially in Google. So I think that the local carousel and the local listings themselves are gonna really, really save you. And if you follow that one screen grab, I can try to get you the link if you tweet at me or something, of exactly what Google said, then you'll have the specific way that they say you should do and not do those redirects.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
No, thanks so much for the question. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, give up one more time for Wil Reynolds.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.